Hey everybody, this is Chris and thanks for checking out another video on my channel. Today I want to give you some more recommendations of films that you can watch to improve your English and to help you to learn the British accent. So all of these films are going to be featuring British actors and actresses. They're not necessarily shot in the UK or made in the UK, but they can help you with the British accent. I made another video before about some recent films for learning the British accent, and I wanted to go back and talk about some classic movies. So this is a great list. I think whatever kind of films you're into, there's going to be something for you here. So I'm really excited about sharing it with you. And don't forget that if you haven't already, you can take my free British accent mini course. This will help you to correct some of the most common mistakes that a lot of learners make when they're trying to learn the British accent. So go ahead, click the link in the description below this video and sign up for that. It's not available on YouTube, so you'll have to go over to my site to get that. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this list of classic films for learning the British accent. Okay, I didn't really know where to start with this list, but I think James Bond is a good place to start. There are so many films that I could have mentioned here, but one that I quite like and is a much more modern James Bond film with Daniel Craig is Casino Royale. And it's all about an adventure that's set in a casino. I also recommend GoldenEye and some classic ones like Dr. No, Live and Let Die. These are all great James Bond films. Any James Bond film that you watch is going to be entertaining and it's going to have great British accents in it as well. Number two, let's get all the important ones out of the way first. Harry Potter. I could have recommended so many Harry Potter films, but this one is a good one to check out. Probably you could watch them in order, but if you're looking for one to start, this one is a good one to choose. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The action is really good in this one. Number three is The Queen, and this is all about the death of Princess Diana and the reaction from the royal family and how the Queen comforts the people after the death of the princess, and also Tony Blair, the Prime Minister, and how he reacts to it as well. This is featuring Helen Mirren, who is a great British actress, and any film about the royal family is going to be great for learning about British culture. So I really recommend this one. Number four is The King's Speech. I actually mentioned this one in my other video, but it's such a classic movie and it's won Oscars, so I can't miss this one out. It's featuring Colin Firth, who plays King George VI, and he has a speech impediment. He has to learn to speak more accurately so he can make a speech to the nation in the First World War to rally the country together. So as well as Colin Firth, it's also got Helena Bonham Carter and Jeffrey Rush as well. So a great cast in this one. So number five is 28 Days Later. This film is all about a man, Jim, and he wakes up from a coma alone in a hospital. And he wakes up to find the whole city of London is deserted. And there are like these zombies all over the city. He has to find a way to survive in the carnage of London. So this is a disaster movie and it's really entertaining, something a bit different. So number six is Snatch, and this is directed by Guy Ritchie. It's got a great cast. It's all about this gang and all of the things they get up to. You'll hear British accents, you'll hear Irish accents as well, and a lot of slang. So this one is really great for learning some slang phrases as well as being really entertaining. Number seven is Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, which is also directed by Guy Ritchie. And it's set in the East End. It's all about gangs, about robbers, and it's really funny as well. It's a hilarious film. It's got lots of slang and it's got a great cast as well. It's got Jason Statham, it's got Vinnie Jones, and some of the great British actors in this one. So definitely check this out. Number eight is a romantic comedy featuring Hugh Grant, who plays Charles. He's always going to weddings, but he never finds the perfect woman himself. He always tries to find love, and he goes to all these weddings and he's always talking to people. So the people getting married are all his close friends. He always runs into old female acquaintances, but he never quite knows which one he's going to get married to. There are so many other films with Hugh Grant that you can check out. Love Actually is a really good one, which is set around Christmas. It's got a great cast. It's got a lot of the great British actors and actresses in it as well. So I recommend you check out Love Actually as well. Number nine is Hot Fuzz, and this is about a policeman called Nicholas Angel. But it's a comedy film, and it's all about the things that they get up to in a very small town. There's not much going on, but suddenly somebody gets their head cut off and they have to solve this murder mystery. So this is a really good one, featuring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Number 10 is also featuring Simon Pegg, and this is called Shaun of the Dead. So this is about a guy who's splitting up with his girlfriend, but he gets caught up in a fight with a load of zombies. So it's a horror film, but it's also a comedy at the same time. So number 11 is Trainspotting, and it's all about these drug addicts in Edinburgh. So you're going to hear a lot of Scottish accents in this one, but it's got really famous actors in it, this one, and you've got to check it out, unless you're very sensitive, in which case this might not be one for you. It's got great music in this film as well. Number 12 is This Is England, and this film is set in 1983. It's all about this young 12-year-old boy, and he gets caught up with skinheads and gets caught up in a lot of mischief. So this is one that you're definitely going to want to check out. It's got a lot of history of the UK in the 1980s. And it's set in a working class neighborhood. So you can find out something about and also learn a lot of slang at the same time. So number 13 is Atonement, and this is about the 13-year-old girl, Bryony Tallis, and she sees her older sister with a man, Robbie, and she misunderstands what they're doing, and it really affects their relationship. So it's all about what happens to this family, and it's based on a novel, actually, by Ian McEwan. The plot is kind of complicated, a lot of things go on, but you're really going to want to check this one out. But number 14 is The English Patient, and this is set in the 1930s. It's about a Hungarian map maker who is sent to make a map of the Sahara Desert, but he gets caught up in the Second World War. It's all about his love affairs, and eventually there's a plane crash at the end. There's a lot of things going on. So this is a thriller, and it's one you're going to want to check out. Number 15, Shakespeare in Love. So this is all about the life of Shakespeare when he was young, and his love affairs, basically, and how the background to him writing his plays. So if you're interested in Shakespeare, if you're interested in British culture, this is going to be one for you. Number 16 is The Full Monty from the late 90s. This is about 6 unemployed men who used to work in a steel works, and they form a striptease act. And the full Monty means basically taking off all your clothes, going completely naked. It sounds a bit crazy, but this is actually a comedy film. So if you like comedy films, you're going to enjoy this one. So number 17 is Bridget Jones's Diary. This is all about a woman in her 30s who still hasn't found the perfect man, even though her boss is flirting with her, and she has all kinds of incidents, and it's really funny. It's featuring not just Renee Zellweger, but also Colin Firth and Hugh Grant, a lot of great actors and actresses as well. So if you like romantic comedies, this one is going to be for you. Number 18 is Pride and Prejudice, the film version. So this is based on the book by Jane Austen, featuring Keira Knightley, and it's set in Georgian England. If you're interested in classic British novels and history, this one is going to be for you. Number 19, also from a classic British novel, Sense and Sensibility. This one is featuring Emma Thompson. So it's all about 3 daughters and their search for husbands as well. So number 20 is Billy Elliot, and this is set in the mid-1980s in a mining town in County Durham. It's all about a young boy, and he discovers that he's very talented at ballet, but obviously his father, a working class man living in this town, he doesn't really like the fact that he's obsessed with ballet. And so it's all about the struggle between this boy's ambition and his desire to pursue his dreams, and also the ideas of his family. So it's something a little bit different, and you're going to enjoy this one. Number 21 is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, another spy thriller set in the Cold War. And this is based on a book by John le Carré. The plot is actually a bit complicated. It's basically about a mission to uncover a Soviet agent within MI6, the Secret Service in the UK. So if you like spy films, then this one is going to be for you. Number 22 is Four Lions. This is actually about four young Muslim men who are aspiring to become terrorists. It sounds a little bit dark, but it's actually a comedy film. You have to watch it to know what this one's about, but it's funny, and if you watch it, you won't regret it, definitely. Number 23 is an animated film. We haven't had any animated films yet in this list. This is Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit. So if you want something a bit more lighthearted, this is one that you can check out. Number 24 is In the Loop, and this is featuring Peter Capaldi, who's also played a Doctor Who. And this is actually a political film. It's about the relationship between the UK and the US and all the things that go on in the UK government. But it's actually really funny. The use of language in this film is really good. It's quite advanced, but if you are a little bit better at English, then you will really enjoy this one. Number 25 is Chariots of Fire, and this is all about two British athletes from different religions, and they're training to compete in the 100-meter race in the Olympics. And in the end, the British team actually win, but it's a story of these two athletes. So this is a classic one from the 1980s. Number 26 is Kes, and this is set in Yorkshire. It's about a teenage boy who doesn't do very well in school. He gets involved in some crime and he doesn't necessarily have many hopes for the future, but he sees a kestrel in a nest in a field, and it's all about how he builds a relationship with this bird and ends up becoming like a trainer for this bird. It sounds a little unusual, but this is definitely one that you should check out. So number 27 is Clockwork Orange. This is directed by Stanley Kubrick, and this is one of my favorites. It's all about a guy called Alex who is in charge of a gang committing violent crimes in a very scary vision of the future. Eventually he gets arrested, and it's all about how he gets tortured and what happens to him in prison. So this is quite a dark film. It's not one that you would enjoy on a light-hearted occasion, but it's a really, really good film. Number 28 is featuring the same actor as Clockwork Orange, Malcolm McDowell, and it's set in a British public school in the late 1960s, and he starts a revolution in this school. So if you're interested in British public schools and British culture, then this is a classic film that you'll enjoy. Number 29 is another classic film, a little bit older, from the 1960s. This is The Italian Job, and it's featuring Michael Caine. It's about a man called Charlie who's left prison, and he has a big job to do. He has to steal some gold which is arriving in Italy from China. He gets caught up with the Italian mafia. It's got some classic lines in this about you're only supposed to blow the doors of the car off. It's got car chase sequences, it's got a lot of good action, and it's featuring Michael Caine, so you're going to hear Cockney accents. And this film was remade in 2003 as well, so that remake is also worth watching. So lastly is Monty Python's Life of Brian. So this is actually a spoof of the story of the birth of Jesus, but it's actually a birth of a person called Brian, and he's always being mistaken for Jesus Christ. It sounds a bit strange. This is actually a satire on religion, a satire on the story of Jesus. And when it was first released, it had a lot of controversy. A lot of religious figures were very unhappy about this film, but it's a really hilarious film. It's got some classic British comedy actors in it. All of the Monty Python films are worth watching, including Monty Python and the Holy Grail as well. Okay, so that's it for this list of 30 classic British films that you can watch to help you with the British accent. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which ones you've seen, which ones you haven't seen, and any other ones that you think I should have included in the list. And that's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you very soon.